This is a bear. He wakes up early. He works hard. Every day, he goes to the river, catches fish, and trades them for river clams, which, in this forest, is basically money. He's not lazy. He's not greedy. He just wants enough clams to eat, rest, and maybe one day own a nice dry cave with heated stones and a view. Let's follow this bear and see how capitalism works. Long ago, our bear fished just for himself. He caught what he needed, ate when he was hungry, and napped when he was tired. Life was simple, not always easy, but fair. If he wanted more fish, he worked a bit harder. If he wanted a nap, he took one. No one judged him. No one measured his productivity. No one said, "Have you considered building your personal brand?" It wasn't perfect, but it made sense. Then came a problem. If our bear caught a fish but wanted mushrooms, he'd have to find a bear with mushrooms who wanted fish. Sometimes it worked, but sometimes they wanted berries, or firewood, or a back rub. And our bear, he just had fish. Bartering was exhausting. Nobody could agree on what anything was worth. Trading turned into haggling. Haggling turned into growling. And more than a few deals ended with a disappointed part of the face. The bears were frustrated. There had to be a better way. Then came the idea. Let's use river clams instead. They were small, rare enough to feel special, and, most importantly, completely useless. You couldn't eat them, you couldn't build with them. You couldn't even sit on them comfortably. Perfect. So the bears agreed, river clams would be money. Now, instead of trading fish for mushrooms directly, our bear could trade a fish for 3 clams and use those clams later to get mushrooms, berries, or even that pine-scented moss pillow everyone's talking about. It was simple, elegant, efficient, and it changed everything. Then, a clever bear had an even bigger idea. You fish for me, I'll give you the rods, I'll tell you where the fish are. You catch them, and I'll give you clams. Not many, but more than you get by catching fish yourself and selling them. Our bear thought, sounds fair. So he joined the team. He fished, he worked, he got paid in clams. Not many, just enough to survive, with maybe a few left over for moss-scented candles or a nice pebble bath now and then. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. At first. Then things changed. The price of mushrooms went up. Cave rent got more expensive. Even the cost of fixing his fishing rod doubled, so our bear worked harder. Longer days, fewer naps, he skipped berry breaks. He told himself, just a bit more, then I'll finally get ahead. But every time he thought he was close to saving up, something else got more expensive, and his tiny stash of clams still tiny. The richer bears said everything was fine. The system works, they said. Hard work always pays off. Trust the invisible paw. That's the idea that if every bear just does what's best for themselves, the whole forest will thrive. But our bear couldn't help noticing. Some bears had so many clams they were building extra caves just to store them. Others, like him, worked all day and still counted clams before buying dinner. It made him wonder, was the invisible paw helping everyone, or just pointing in one direction? Then one day, the whole system cracked. Clams lost value, no one agreed what they were worth. Some clams were called premium, others were suspicious. Bears panicked, trade stopped. And suddenly, our bear's hard-earned clams were kind of worthless. He hadn't done anything wrong, but he still lost most of what he'd saved. But the rich bears, they were fine. Not because they had more clams, but because they had other things. They owned fishing spots, berry patches, dry caves, rental trees, and more importantly, they had honey jars. Real, golden, sticky wealth, sweet security stored on high shelves, far away from hungry paws. They didn't need clams, they had assets. Our bear, he just went back to the river, because what else was he supposed to do? Capitalism in this forest means most bears work. A few bears own the tools, the rods, the rivers. Clams are used to buy everything, even though no one actually needs clams for anything else. And the system keeps going, because every bear believes, if I just work hard enough, maybe I'll be the one with a lot of clams. Sometimes that happens, but most of the time, most bears just keep fishing. So next time someone says, hard work always pays off, think of this bear. He works, he tries. He's not asking for much, just a fair chance at a warm cave and maybe a quiet evening. But in this forest, success isn't just about fishing well. It's about who owns the river, who sets the price of mushrooms, and who started the game with a mountain of clams already stacked in their cave. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my not so glamorous and definitely not happily ever after fairy tale. Hit like button to save our sad bear from going insane and make him a bit happier. Hit dislike button and the bear will cry into his refurbished, empty honey jar beside his overpriced rental tree. And if you subscribe, well, you'll probably meet him again in the next wildly unnecessary adventure, but no guarantees. Thanks again, and may the invisible paw be with you.